with the up and down weather we've had this year, it's amazing how well the gardens are growing. So not only is my garden performing above and beyond expectations, but all of our gardener friends and customers that are coming into the store are telling us the same thing, that their gardens are just going nuts, and they're harvesting, and plants are doing great, and their harvest is excellent. So you know, it's funny how odd weather kind of frustrates us from time to time, but in many cases the plants can deal with it better than we can. And so we've got squashes, tomatoes, beans, potatoes, and we're harvesting everything coming out of the garden. But right now we're starting to see a lot of insects, and the insects are doing quite a bit of damage. And one of the worst insects to deal with is the squash beetle. And the squash bugs get into the plants. They'll attack the vine right where it comes up out of the soil, and they will damage the vine just enough that the sap flow, you know, the water nutrient, can't run through the plant, and the vines will just start to die down. So we've got, you know, real healthy vines coming off of this pumpkin plant. It's growing like crazy, setting lots of fruit. There's multiple fruits just right here in this area, but all it takes is about 3 or 4 days, and the plants that are thriving and looking amazing can look like this. And so this is what happens when the squash beetles get into your squash. They attack that vine right where it comes up out of the ground, and within 2 or 3 days the plant will just wither up and die as if it weren't getting any water whatsoever. And so it's essential that you get some sort of protective application on to keep the squash bugs from damaging your squash. And we're talking pumpkins and the zucchinis and winter squash. All of those are very susceptible to the squash beetles. Now what I like to do is use a repellent. Now this is an insect repellent. It's all natural, it's organic, and it is made from cedar oil, and it just makes insects leave and go somewhere else. And so as a granule, I can broadcast this out through my whole garden, and it just drives the insects away. They'll just go somewhere else. It works really well on any type of flying insects like moths, beetles, and it just makes them go somewhere else. Hopefully over to your neighbor's house as well too. So you can broadcast this granule out. It comes in a liquid as well too. If you want to stick with some organic insect controls, the spinosad soap, also very effective on all kinds of insects, but very, very safe to use right up to the day of harvest. And so the spinosad soap works on squash beetles, it works on aphids, it works on thrips, it works on every type of caterpillar that's out there, but it's also extremely safe to use where it won't hurt people or pets or even beneficial insects, but very, very effective at controlling the insects that you want. Safe to use on the plants, won't hurt the plants at all. And you can use it just like right up to the day of harvest. So great product to use. And if you really need to get serious about the squash beetles, you know, a product like the new formulation of 7, not the old formulation, but the new formulation, it has zeta cypermethrin in it. Works great on squash beetles. Also very safe to use, like right up to the day before you harvest. So on most vegetables and fruits, you can use it right up to the day before you harvest. Harvest the next day, rinse it off, and go ahead and eat it, and it will have broken down enough that it won't be problematic for you. But the 7's very good. Permethrin works great on the squash beetles also, and so does bifenthrin, and those are all listed for use on squash for squash bugs and squash vine borers as well too. So a lot of different options for you to get those insects under control, but it's very, very important that you knock that population down, or else your beautiful, lovely plants that are starting to produce will get affected by those squash bugs and die back, and we don't want that to happen. So repel, drive them somewhere else. Some good organic, natural options to get a lot of your insects under control as well too. And let's make sure and protect your plants so you can harvest more than the bugs get.